So far, there are discovered 100 billion planets in the Milky Way galaxy. Hubble's Deep Space Telescope of NASA has revealed 100 billion galaxies in the universe. Our galaxy, the Milky Way, is 100 million light years wide, and our solar system sits about 25 million light years from the center, so about a fourth of the way in. Sizing it up, so if our Earth were a grain of sand, the Sun would be about the size of a pool ball, the Moon would be an even tinier speck of dust, and the entire solar system would be the length of 4 football fields. My everyday problems just melt away when I think about the size of the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture, really. They also make me realize just how special our planet is. Of the 100 billion planets, ours is the only one known to be home to life. As Carl Sagan puts it, every one of us in the cosmic perspective is precious. If a human disagrees with you, let him live. In 100 billion galaxies, you will not find another. Speaking of bigger pictures, here's one we've put on the back burner for far too long. Climate change. Life on Earth is amazing, but it's at risk of extreme suffering and possibly even extinction. After reviewing the scientific literature, NASA has concluded that 97% of climate scientists agree that human-induced climate change, due to excessive CO2 emissions from mostly burning fossil fuels and deforestation, threatens us all. I won't be getting into the science here, because it's not what this speech is about, but the science is out there, and I encourage everyone to be their own investigator and look into the science, because it is there and it is convincing. Climate change doesn't just mean warmer weather. It also means more extreme weather. The extreme hurricanes, forest fires, and winter storms in the past years will only become more common and more extreme, as if they aren't bad enough already. In fact, a scientific study out of Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory, a Department of Energy office managed by the University of California, found that climate change likely increased rainfall during Hurricane Harvey by 20 to 40%. Yes, the weather will also be getting warmer and droughts will be intensified as well, which causes the melting of sea ice. And sea level rise doesn't just mean bad news for the polar bears. The International Panel on Climate Change predicts that many Himalayan glaciers are likely to disappear completely as soon as 2035. With many international crops being dependent on glacial meltwater, this spells out food shortages, which implies heavy price increases on fresh food. Many scientists are referring to current times as the 6th mass extinction. The World Wildlife Fund finds that 60% of Earth's species have gone extinct between 1970 and 2014. The Earth is like an expensive watch in that every single piece is needed to make it tick. Without vital ecosystems, our crops couldn't be pollinated, our air wouldn't be breathable, and life as we know it would not be possible without all the intricate natural systems in place. The IPCC says that we need to keep warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius to avoid complete catastrophe. The good news is this is achievable, but only if we act quickly and thoroughly. Ultimate solution requires a multifaceted plan of action, but the first and easiest step should be a renewable energy revolution. We can power everything that we currently power with fossil fuels and natural gases with renewable clean energy instead, generated from solar, wind, and hydropower. The great news about these is that they do not create any greenhouse gas emissions, and ultimately they are the cheaper option because they're free to create. The only downside is that they do cost money to implement, but in the long run, they will pay themselves off in full. It's easy. All we have to do is enact the change. Some of the world's brightest, like Elon Musk, are already keen on this. Tesla is making electric cars affordable and accessible for everyday citizens like myself and you. I like to imagine a future where my nieces and nephews can witness nature and wildlife prosperous on Earth and not in zoos. To me, zoos are a museum of what was and what we ruined, or at least that's what they're going to become if we keep on this track. I like to imagine a future where the Olympian David Katatau, who danced in front of the world at the 2016 Rio Olympics to bring awareness of climate change. He's from the small island nation of Kiribati. I like to imagine that he won't have to watch his home country drown because it's only 2 meters above sea level. I like to imagine a future where affordable and accessible energy for all is available, because in today's world, we live where 100 billion people plus live without electricity. Gandhi said, "Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's needs, but not every man's greed." So, I would like to encourage you to spread the word and advocate for renewable energy. You can do this through activism, speaking just to your friends, your family, your mentors, your social media, also through your democratic processes. I'd also like to inform you that you can import your electricity from renewables from your electricity provider. They actually source their electricity through several different options. All you have to do is tell them what kind of electricity you want to be receiving. It's a simple switch. It is about 20 to 30 cents more per dollar, but I think it's a cost well worth it for the service you'll be providing the Earth and the service that you'll be receiving. Lastly, I'd like to encourage you to donate to an organization, Greenpeace USA. They're a nonprofit who's currently fighting climate change by pushing for 100% renewable energized future. If you would like to donate to that organization, it's a great one, and they're committed to the clean energy revolution. Thank you so much.